To you live from Pier 17 here in the Heineken River Deck in Lower Manhattan. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Amin El-Hassan in for Jalen Rose. Amin, a very surprising result in the NFL Thursday night game last night. The Chiefs were ahead. Mahomie was doing Mahomie things, throwing touchdown passes, and then the Chargers came storming back. They won the game and went for two at the end for the victory. Philip Rivers discussed that game-changing decision in his post-game press conference. Let's listen to the dad of 9 children.
I was gone. I was going to the sideline, going to overtime. And Coach Lynn said, let's go win it right now. Let's go for 2. Let's go win it right now. And when he said that, there was so much conviction from him. It was, yeah, let's go win it right now.
Let's go right now. Let's win it for 2. Players after winning games are the best. They're just so happy and excited. It's so excellent. So, Amin, I was all ready to give my take that even though the Chiefs lost the game, they're clearly by far the best team in the AFC. I was so ready to spew that into a microphone and distribute it on national television. But then I made the mistake of doing a little research.
Oh, no.
I know. Sometimes I let facts and actual information and evidence get in the way of my opinions. The Chiefs are 32nd in the league in yards given up. They are 28th in the league in points per game. Is it possible that while they have a great offense, the Chiefs' defense is what's going to keep them from being successful moving forward?
Well, absolutely it's possible, but here's another element, Jacoby, right? The offense is not what it once was. Obviously, they went through a really terrible situation with Kareem Hunt being the situation he went through and him getting released. Through the first 12 games, the Chargers scored more than 30 points, 10 of those 12 games. In the last 2 games, basically since he's been released, they've failed to score 30 points. So maybe it's not just that their defense is so terrible, but also their offense ain't quite as good as it once was.
Maybe that is the case. But here's something that is definitely the case. I want to party with Enrique Iglesias and Anna Kournikova.
Hey now.
This is a very controversial topic amongst the staff of this program. I don't know if you know this, but I love Costco. Kirkland for life. I love the Kirkland brand. I love the Costco experience. But I never Costco as hard as Anna Kournikova Costco's. Let's take a look at Anna Kournikova's cart as she leaves the greatest store on earth, Costco. She has 6 bottles of Kettle One, 4 bottles of Grey Goose. And these aren't just bottles. These are the big Costco-sized bottles. She has a bottle of Patron. She also has champagne, and it looks like some mangoes in there as well and some orange juice. Here's the question. Is 10 gigantic bottles of vodka with other booze too much, not enough, or just right for a holiday party?
First of all, for Russians, that's just called Tuesday. Second of all, I am not impressed by this. You know why, Jacoby? Because she went shopping with the little Costco cart. And you know, if you're a Costco lover, if you're a Costco aficionado, if you Costcoing for real, give me the palette one. That orange one in the background of that picture. There you go. Yep, that's the bad boy I shop with.
That's the big Costco cart. Also, as a father of twins, you know that there are Costco carts that will fit both of your children in there. You can put both of them in there and go around Costco. But here's the thing, man. I've thrown parties. I did not need 10 big bottles of vodka. Like, I really want to party with Kournikova and Iglesias now. I want to get invited. Where they live, Miami or something. Let's make a road trip.
Again,
just show up.
Who said anything about a party? That's just regular grocery shopping.
I like it. All right, we have some interesting news out of Chicago, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on with the Chicago Bulls, and none of it seems to add up. The latest report, which is a weird thing to report in the first place, is that Jabari Parker has fallen out of favor and he will no longer be in the rotation. Let's take a look at his production thus far in his 1-year deal in Chicago. He's playing 30 minutes a game, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, shooting 45%. Not terrible numbers. I mean, not all-star numbers. But I mean, why would a player who's going from 30 minutes a game go to out of the rotation overnight like this?
Oh, Jacoby, you poor, sweet, innocent child. You slave of traditional statistics. Jabari Parker has not played well. Maybe he's played well individually. Maybe he's played well by 20 years ago standards where we did not know how to measure how good a player was. But we have all that information now. ESPN released its RPM numbers recently, and in the latest update, Jabari Parker ranked 439
Whoa.
out of 451 players in the NBA.
So there's only 11 players worse in RPM than Jabari Parker?
Yes. And that's a negative 4.17. It is possible. This is one of my favorite things about basketball that seems to elude many people. It is possible to have a very solid individual campaign that is also massively detrimental to team success. Remember, also, Jabari Parker is the same guy who said boldly in an interview in the offseason that defense really doesn't matter in the NBA. Nobody plays defense anyway. I don't blame the Bulls for dropping him from the rotation. I don't think that's a good attitude to have around the team. And I don't want a guy who's out there basically trying to be a hired gun.
Interesting. Do you think he will get another contract after this one in Chicago?
Yes, because people are enamored with points per game. And they'll point to, hey, in 30 minutes a game, I averaged 15, 16. I did everything I was supposed to do. I shot a good percentage. And so teams that are needing offensive oomph are always going to be interested in guys like Jabari Parker.
Well, the Bulls have been in the news for other reasons too. There was a mutiny. They weren't going to show up at practice, and Boylen is saying it's going to be a tough time and that he's just going to be a strong hand. What do you think is happening in Chicago?
I think what's happening is a really heavy-handed attempt at culture change, right? The idea is that Fred Hoiberg was too nice or too player-friendly, and they need a disciplinarian to get everyone in line. Here's the problem, though. This is what the mistake Boylen made, which ironically is the mistake that Fred Hoiberg made when he first became coach of the Bulls. He didn't win over the vets and the leaders of his locker room first before trying to institute culture change, right? He just did this unilaterally, and obviously everyone was like, wait a second, what do you think you're trying to do here? Hoiberg did the same thing. He didn't win over Butler, Joakim Noah, or Taj Gibson, and as a result, his kind of friendly ways did not wash over well with that locker room. Fast forward 5 years later, or however many years ago it was, and now you see Boylen doing the same exact mistake, but in the opposite direction. I'm going to be a taskmaster, but I didn't win over anybody here. And when he brings up Greg Popovich, well, Pop did it. Forget the championships. I hate people who say Pop could do it because he won championships. Pop could do it because he'd been there long enough and he had the trust and the respect of the leaders of his locker room. Boylen didn't have that.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Greg Popovich because after this break, we're going to ask Amin Elhassan if this is Greg Popovich's final year coaching in the NBA. That's right.
He's still my heart.